Hello and welcome to the video. It is time for a weekly bench update. Most of the work this week has been done on the 50 Ford for the Kustoms Group Build. But before we get into the progress of that, a couple other things I want to talk about. First up is the Facebook group I started, Sodakmodelcars on YouTube, and the way it sounds is that it's an extension of the channel. Comments are great, but you can't share photos or links or anything there. So I opened this up to create another avenue for communication and sharing your guys' projects. If you guys have built these 49 and 50 Fords, great place to share it. I want to see them. Same with like the Revell 64 Impala that I'm working on. Anything like that. I do box openings. Share with me your builds. Let others see what that kit can build up into. Also, I'm doing group builds. I am currently doing the Cars of Our Past. So it's another place for you guys to kind of share your builds. I think pretty much everybody else that's joined has finished that group build. I'm the lone one left standing to go. But again, I will have a group build come this winter in December. Hopefully you guys will jump in. You guys can jump in if you're not in YouTube. Another way for you guys to share, dump your photos there. I can make a collage, share them in my videos. So it just kind of opens up another avenue for all of us to join in on my group builds. But enough of that. I will leave a link in the description for that, or you can find my kind of personal Facebook page. I've got a link there, or just ask and I will try to link you to that group. Again, Sodakmodelcars on YouTube. And quickly back to the 64 Impala for my Cars of Our Past. I am working with Miguel over at Hobbiwerks. Hoping we can recreate this package tray that I had built for my 64 Impala. It's a crappy photo, but this was a oak piece of plywood that I trimmed out for the package tray, and then used a router to create this half channel, and then stained it in black, and then stained the wood. We got a couple of 6x9s in there, so hopefully he can recreate this. I just couldn't figure out a way to create that routered in channel in a scratch build, but hopefully he can whip that up in a 3D file. He's pretty backed up with his move and everything, so hopefully he can get a file over. And Justin over at JHart said he would be willing to print that up for me, so I'm very appreciative of those guys, and I look forward to getting that. That'll be a really nice piece to really solidify that as my build. And moving on from there, really quick note, give you a quick look at one of my Coke machines for the rust bucket. This is one version where I'm just kind of fading the paint down, and then we will streak it up and wear off some graphics and do some other things. But I figured I'd just give you a quick little shot of one of those. And now on to kind of the main attraction of the week. And again, is the AMT 50 Ford for the Kustoms Group Build, where I am modifying the front. I really wanted to work on that this week to make sure that I was going to succeed with that front end, and I think we're getting there. The biggest thing is I did kind of cut this fender to section this back quite a bit. I think I got like 3.3 millimeters, which is, you know, close to 3.5 inches of sectioning back, and I think that gives it a much better proportion than that nose just kind of stuck on the front. Of course, we got to trim this off, but I just want to leave that there to kind of give you an idea of how far we have pushed that nose back to give us some nice proportions. We're working on the hood, trying to get those lines matched back up since we pushed everything back. We got to trim the hood. We still got to do a bit more on the hood. I don't have the pillar or the windshield posts in yet. Since I'm doing so much body work, I figured I was going to break that off if I added it now. But I think we can kind of commit to this build now and move on to other ideas. I'm still kind of waffling on the chrome if I want to shave it, but going there, just kind of mocking up things, a little fun tack, do different customs. The taillights, I'm definitely starting to look at. I want to do something diagonal with it here in the back. I have a couple of ideas, and of course in our little books, just to kind of give you a picture of something I want to do. These are actually 53 Studebaker lights that they use, but that's kind of the look I want. something candid to go along with the front end, a little more custom flair to the rear. Again, I'm probably a little bit of an outcast in this group build, going a little bit later in the custom era. I would say this build would put me obviously after 58 with the candid headlights to about 62-ish is kind of where I'm floating with this build. But again, we need to work on some taillights. If anybody has 58 Edsel taillights and bezels they're willing to sell me, I would like to give those a try, see how they look, or any other kind of those flat elongated taillights. If anybody can think of anything that they could maybe share with me, hook me up, sell me, however you want to do it, or just let me know where to look, I would be more than happy. Kind of talking with Paul, he was showing off some of his cars and talking about Model House and how that's kind of a hole in the industry, I think, where we don't have access to those fun taillights, a lot of those Chrysler, DeSoto taillights, things that we can use for these customs. Again, this is just kind of fun tacked on to give me some ideas. Now that I've got the front end that I'm happy with, of course we will finish more of that off, but now I can kind of commit to customizing the rest of it. But that's not all. Let me get this post back on. We got some things in the mail from good old Shawn over at the Scale Model Car Guy channel, and that is my Carson top for this guy to kind of finish her off and give us that cool look. I knew the Carson top was coming and some other things, but of course, the way Shawn does, he's got to send more than what he says. Now we have every roof. This one obviously came with this kit, but he also sent along the hard top. Oh, just not much for it to sit on. Give you a look at that original hard top from the kit. And then of course we've got the original soft tops. We got the top to go up and this limo top. So maybe we pin a couple of these so we can switch them around, have a little fun with it. But the main build is going to be about that Carson top. And I think that really is the signature point, or the signature look here we got going. I can start dressing up some wheels, other things like that. Speaking of wheels, I do believe I snagged some of the original Barris wheel covers from the original 50 kit. So I'm looking forward to getting those in the mail this week. A few other things. Like I said, Shawn sent over a few things. I think I'll show those off on Monday. Mail and magazine, all the things. But like I said, he sent us a couple of the roofs and then a few other extra front ends from these kits and other bits and pieces. So look for that on Monday, mail and magazines. And with that, we'll see you next time.